I'm 35 years old. I've been married for 16 years, and I have a teenage daughter in high school. I got married at 19 and had my daughter when I was 20. My sexual experience before my husband was pretty limited. I had one boyfriend, and he was my first, but we were both so young and inexperienced that it just wasn't good. I married for love, and even though my husband wasn't a sexual pro either, I hoped things would get better over time. My main issue with him in bed is that he's not very affectionate. I talked to him countless times, explaining that I needed foreplay, intimacy, and kissing. He'd make an effort for a little while, but then it would go right back to the way it was. We'd run through the required routine like a gymnastics drill, and then it was lights out. I often faked orgasms. Over time, I realized that talking to him about it was pointless. He just wants to think about himself in bed, and I regret not seeing that when I was younger. I have a friend at work, who I affectionately call my little brother. I call him that because he's 7 years younger than me. He's 28. He's a kind guy, always ready to help, very charismatic and easy to talk to. We'd often chat and laugh together. The first warning sign came when I was walking to work, twisted my ankle, and fell. I scraped my knee, and it was bleeding. When I got to the office, he saw me, brought me into his office, which has a first aid kit because of his position, and he bandaged me up. He fussed over me like I was a kid. Then, out of nowhere, he kissed my knee. I told myself he was just feeling sorry for me and tried to push the incident out of my mind. I was proud of our friendship, that it was so platonic, especially since he's also married with a daughter who's only 3 years old and who he clearly adores. Married men have always been a no-go for me. Plus, he's too young. The second warning sign happened at our company Christmas party. We were chosen to be in a contest that required us to wear masks. To keep us a secret from everyone else, the MC hid us in a dark coat room. It was there that he, again as if joking, started to say that he could do whatever he wanted with me and no one would ever know. I again laughed it off, blamed it on the alcohol, and put it out of my head. But he did ask me to dance all night and wouldn't let me go, so much so that rumors started to spread. But nothing had actually happened between us, so I figured, let them talk if they have nothing better to do. A few months later, our boss had an anniversary party and invited all the employees. We had a great time at the restaurant. And then one of our coworkers invited everyone back to her place to show off her new renovations. About 8 of us went, and she had more food and drinks waiting for us. We walked around, oohing and ahhing at her place. It really was nice. 4 rooms, 2 balconies, and she even converted one of them into an extra room. At some point, the loud music and chatter started giving me a headache, so my coworker suggested I go out to the second, the quieter balcony to get some fresh air. So I did. I was standing there. It was dark outside and dark on the balcony. I was by the open window, and my head was starting to feel better. All of a sudden, I felt someone behind me kissing my neck and shoulders. I turned around, and it was him, my friend. He'd slipped out without me noticing. I don't know what happened in that moment. It was like we were thrown together. The kissing and touching were wild. Before I even had a chance to blink, my clothes were off. We had sex, and it was so intense, like we hadn't had it in 20 years. The tenderness, the feeling of being completely swept away, the pleasure. I'd never experienced anything like it with anyone, not even my husband. In hindsight, it was crazy. I realized that we could have easily been caught, and I have no idea how no one else came out there. It would have been a super awkward situation, and we'd probably have to have quit our jobs, but no one noticed. We went back to the party, where everyone was pretty drunk and talking, laughing, and dancing. When the party was over, he got me a cab home. I came back, got into bed with my husband, and immediately fell asleep. The next day, my husband went fishing, my daughter went out with her friends, and I sat in the kitchen with a cup of coffee and started to think about my feelings. I was waiting for the guilt to kick in. After all, in 15 years of marriage, I had never even looked at another man, let alone cheated, but nothing. All my guilt was drowned out by the memory of how unbelievably good it was. I knew I wasn't in love with him, but there was no doubt it was pure passion. The interesting thing is that we weren't even that drunk. I don't drink much, and he hadn't had that much either. It's been a few months since then. Things with my coworker are strange. We message each other on a fake social media account he created. He writes that he misses my hands and my lips. I only write about work-related things and try to keep it strictly professional. I ignore all the explicit comments and delete them. At first, it was awkward to look him in the eye at work, especially since he changed offices to be right next to mine, which I already mentioned. I even almost quit my job to go to another company. Now I've mastered avoiding him and act like I don't remember anything or know what he's talking about. I'd rather pretend I was a blackout drunk who can't recall what happened the next day. So that's what I did. After that, he was quiet for about a month and a half, but now he started with the hints and suggestions again, which I am still ignoring. Nothing has changed in my family life. It's still my husband, my daughter who's applying to colleges, and my mom, who I take care of. My husband has changed his attitude toward me, though. He's much more attentive. Maybe he saw our messages. He created a fake account, but I wasn't trying to hide them. I was kind of like, if he finds it, so be it. And it feels like he did, but there have been no accusations, nothing. It's all so weird. I thought if he even suspected I was cheating, it would be an immediate divorce. But it's turned out to be the opposite. It feels like he's trying to win back my respect. I don't know. It's all so confusing, and I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe you can help me understand what to do.